Denver at Chicago.
All right, bro. For this one, the question that I have actually does not revolve around the Bears. The question I wanted to ask is, look, the Broncos situation, it goes where from here, right? I mean, this is arguably, it's not, no, I will not say that. It is a dumpster fire that slightly rivals that of Chicago.
Well,
but it's like with the Broncos, there was much more hope and optimism and seemingly a direction. But now,
luckily, Denver has their first round pick this year. So worst comes to worst, if they're one of the worst teams in the league, it'll be high. But I understand what you're saying. Like, the offense isn't bad. Like, they came back and beat the Bears. But, like, how Vance Joseph has a job if they're not winning, like, by, like, week 6, week 7, like, it's already week 4. Like, we're basically through, like, 25% of the season. So this either isn't going to change or there's going to be, like, a coaching change. I don't know what it is. You can't teach, like, a brand new scheme. So like, you're right in asking this question because they truly are fucked and handicapped by how bad their defense is.
Bro, and in, like, okay, we'll go back to, I always go back to, like, situations. And this is my thing with the Broncos. We'll go, situations. Okay. All right. Russ is 34. Right. And again, back to, like, my my Kirk agenda. It's like, you never know when a QB, like, when the rails are gonna get disconnected from the rails. I would say the rails are gonna fall off. I guess same concept though. Wheels being off of the rails is what I'm getting at. And it's like, yeah, that could be in, like, 6 years if he's one of those superhuman QBs. But it's like, are we banking on that? Are we banking that the Broncos are gonna be able to build everything around Russ the next few years? Or are we gonna assume that Russ is more likely, like a lot of other humans that have played the NFL, and he leans towards that build where he's going to be able to only go at his best for another 2-3 years tops? And then that's where my main question comes from right now, bros. It's like, the way this team's built, it very much hinged on belief that Russ was going to be the guy to, like, take them to the promised land. I mean, obviously that was definitely the point of the trade. Now we're leaning towards, like, at least I'm leaning towards, like, I don't think that by the time the Broncos are able to be Super Bowl competitive again, like, it's like, is Russ still going to be at his peak? Is this team in line to, the Broncos are truly in.
They fucked up the timeline. That's what. So, like, looking at a lot of NFL teams with some of the decisions they make is they always fuck up the timeline. Like, the Russ trade would have made sense, but I honestly feel like when they did the Russ trade, they felt like they were only a couple players away. Then they traded Bradley Chubb.
And this is so. And to their defense, though, and like I say, I'm always an honest guy. I go back and write my wrong if I was wrong about something. I don't know how. I can't speak for you at the time, but I feel like you were probably leaning towards how I felt. Where when he was getting traded there, it was like, yeah, they are only a few players away. Like, if Russ goes there, then they are going to be a team that could go get 12, 13 wins. I remember saying that. I was quoted. I literally said that. But the truth is, as we've seen, well, obviously the reality situation was much different than as we perceived, as everybody, as the owners perceived. And they were a lot of players away and a lot of things away and the scheme was if anything, the scheme is very far away from where it needs to be.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah. They are in a really, really odd situation because of how off everybody assumed the timeline was from the reality of the situation.
Last time they were a top 10 defense was 2020. So maybe they're a little bit farther away than everyone thought. But kind of going into Chicago, there's really not much to cover here other than, like, they had a chance to end the now 14 game losing streak and possibly get the win by just kicking the field goal. More coaching malpractice by Matt Eberflus. It's just like, bro, and then, like, I'll just go over this quickly. We don't have to keep staying on this because the Bears at this point are just a fucking circus. Like, Matt Eberflus basically came out and said that, like, he gave Chase Claypool a choice whether he wanted to be at the game or not, and he chose to stay home. And then a Bears rep was like, no, we told him to stay home. So, first off, if I'm a player on the Bears, I'm like, okay, well, my coach just threw me under the bus. What will he do to me if I fuck up? And also, it's like, why can they just never be on the same page? Why is there always Bears PR coming out after trying to clarify what this coach is saying? seems to me like he's either one lying or truly just has zero clue what's going on. And my thing is, I don't know. Like, I remember when Nagy lost the locker room at the end, and I remember very, very, very faintly how like Trestman started to lose it. I have never seen a Bears locker room loss faster.
I was gonna, this is what I was saying. I'm laughing because it's funny at this point how wrong I was. Because I'm laughing at myself. It's fucking hilarious, bro. Coming into the year, I mean, someone's got to go find the audio and put clown music behind me at this point. Because I was saying, oh, dude, this is the most continuity that a Bears coach has made behind the roster. Like, you can feel that from last year. You can feel how different things are now, and like bro, I have never been more wrong about someone how they conduct their locker room than Matt Eberflus and his fucking flus juice. He's got me breaking the table because he's got me looking. Someone can go make clown music of me because of how much I believed in this man and his fucking flus juice.
I mean, I went to training camp. They had me, man. They had me hook, line, and sinker.
I'm not kidding you, bro, when I tell you that this is, and I mean, I'm not saying this is a joke. That's what makes it so crazy. And again, if you had asked me before the season, I had so much hype in this team. For the Bears to be the team I'm saying is about is mind-blowing me right now. Even though it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be because they're the Bears. But it's like this team really is the most unorganized team I've ever seen in my life. They are the one.
And you want to know the best part? Justin Fields had his best day of his career yesterday, and it's all washed over by the bullshit that has happened. And
that's what's crazy. You know how much good film we should be able to go back and like everyone could be like, yeah, and not even like victory lap day for Justin, because like we were saying, it's like realistically we expect this to continue.
It's the Broncos defense.
It's like
I don't know.
This probably is just one of those days that sometimes pros have where it's like, yeah, he had a day. Like that, have a day. Like that's he
You're
had
a
his
first
day.
round talent. You should be doing this
right?
in year 3.
It's kind of like with Zach this week too. These are Jim and Justin. It's like the universe glitched this week, and it was like it spit out both of their best games. It was like, wait, fuck. It got everybody excited, and it's like, I don't know if the simulation is ever going to have that. It's like something that you're probably not going to see very often. Yeah. We got to see it both of them on the same day.
They still need to go get Caleb Williams though in this draft. Maybe
knocking my mic, bro.
Package like a second round pick to Atlanta for Justin.
That would be crazy. And I feel like that would be, at this rate, maybe a little too high of a value if you're shooting over shit.
No. Like, let's say he plays like mediocre like this, like 300-yard games, 2 touchdowns.
Well, if he kept doing that, then it would be worth it. But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think they get a little time to marinate.
Yeah.
Let him go back to.
Let's see how bad Desmond Ritter sucks.